Hello and welcome to Oracle Mystica. This is actually a pre-introduction because there's a little extra something I decided to do after the fact, after I already recorded this February 2022 pick a card, and I decided it would be fun to add just a really quick short message for each zodiac sign separately from the pile you pick. So at the end of this reading, there will be just quick 1, 2, 3 minute messages for each zodiac sign. We're going to pick one card and roll this zodiac dice for the houses, which will indicate like which area of life is going to be kind of focal for the card that we pick. And yeah, just like a little extra something to make this a unique reading for each individual. Okay, so on we go to the real intro. Hello, my Earth and Star friends. Welcome to Oracle Mystica. Today we are going to do a new pick a card reading for the month ahead for February 2022, which is February 1st of the year, is in bulk in the Celtic calendar, which is sort of the, not quite the beginning of spring, but the emergence of spring-like energy. It has to do, that title has to do with lambing, where there's new baby lambs in Ireland and the British Isles and stuff, and depending on where you are in the US, some of us may be having some more warmth and some of us are having a cold, very cold month, such as where I am. But in general, the daylight is growing and we're feeling that stretch, and there can be ebbs and flows of feeling that new vitality growing and frustration with it still being kind of cold and kind of dark and a little bit of impatience. So we'll see what these cards have to say about all these themes. We're going to pick 4 piles with these I Ching hexagram cards. So we're going to pick those right now, and then I'm going to give you guys, just a little bit to meditate on them and decide which pile is yours. Okay, and we've got fellowship. I was gonna say something and I just forgot as I was picking that card. Oh yeah, I was gonna kind of tell you the rhythm of what this reading is gonna be. Small influences. So this card is gonna be kind of the overarching theme of the month for each pile, but then we're gonna do the cardinal directions of self, kind of like identity and passions, and then our stability and grounding, what we need to do to nurture ourselves and feel kind of stable in life, and then relationships, and then the last direction is sort of either career or schooling, whatever your kind of outer world responsibilities are. That one had to come out. Creative power. And the last one, Youthful, Folly. Okay, so for these cards, I'll lift each one of them up so you can see them better. And I want you to feel into, I'm going to read the elements that are connected to each of these hexagrams and the number, and then you can look at the picture too. So don't just look at the title. So this one is, fellowship, and it's sky above, fire below. So air and fire qualities, and it's the 13th hexagram, which is, I don't think in the Ching science, but in other more pagan-y traditions, or in general, there's a lot of religious traditions that follow a 13-month calendar, so the moon calendar. So this could be really related to feminine things, on top of fellowship and earth and fire. And then we've got a number 9, which is very universal energy in numerology. And then this is wind above, sky below. So very airy, which you can see with all the blues in here. So big energy, even though it says small influences, that 9 to me has something universal going on. A lot of maybe movement. This does, it has sort of like all this wind in here, this movement. And then we've got number 1. This is the creative force, so creative power, and it's sky above, sky below. So another very air centered. This is a very masculine card, though. It's all yang lines, which you can see up here. And then we've got Youthful, Folly, which is number 4, which is stabilizing, and then mountain above, water below. So we got a little bit more, in terms of elements, a little bit more femininity going on here, with earthy and watery energy. All these other 3 cards have been very masculine in their elements, even though 13 has a connection kind of to femininity with that, the lunar element of 13. So this is going to be pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. Let me focus again. This is a good place to pause if you need some time to meditate on these cards, tune into their elements, the numbers, the titles, whatever it is that's drawing you in. The images themselves are really gorgeous. Pause here, take a minute, and kind of see which pile is drawing you in, and then the timestamps will be in the descriptions, or these are also going to be in chapters, so you can scroll to your pile. I'll label them pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we will start with pile 1. All right. Hello, pile 1. If this is you guys, you picked the fellowship card. And this card is sort of in my mind when I kind of was designing this reading, is sort of representing the environment around you, sort of like what you're going to have to contend with generally as like a theme that seems to weave through the month. And so in this card, it's fellowship, sky above, fire below. And this has a lot to do with like really respecting group energy and group dynamics. So being very open-minded, cooperative, compromising, collaborative, and really respecting and embracing diversity into that group element that's there, which diversity can bring both a lot of strengths, and for some it can be a challenge if you're not being open-minded, but this card would urge you to be a little bit open-minded and sort of broaden your lens and listen, and really try to have a little bit of empathy and compassion for where other people stand and where they're coming from and their journeys. And by doing that, you can really, it's that, just kind of like having this sense of openness and compassion which helps you learn about different diverse things around you in your world, which really broadens it and strengthens it and can make it really beautiful. So there could be some challenges around forcing yourself to be more open-minded and listening better and cooperating better and checking your judgments. But there can also be, there could also be a lot of really beautiful group energy and collaborative, creative energy around you through doing that kind of, pushing through those challenges. So that's kind of a general thread that may be kind of running through your month of February 2022. And then we're going to pick an animal archetype to show sort of your energy, where you're coming from right now, and what kind of animal wants to kind of join you in this month's journey and be a little bit of a guide and lend you some of their energy for this month, or what kind of qualities within you. It could even just sort of signify qualities within you you're going to need to channel, or sort of maybe the attitude that you might be coming into the month with. What should we take? I think we're going to take both of these. Which is funny because these both came out in a reading I did it's like 2 readings ago. So maybe I need to cleanse this pile a little. Yeah, I think that these energies within you are really beautiful for fellowship. So there's an element of you that's being very observant and watchful, but maybe a little bit protective of your territory, which is okay as long as you're not sort of necessarily like judging others or affecting others. I think it's okay to be cautious. That's totally fine. And I think you are coming into this month a little bit cautious and a little bit observant and waiting for something. There might be something that you're waiting for, right timing of something, and it might be through not taking yourself out of groups, like being around groups, but sort of being a little bit detached and observant of the dynamics. And there's something about groups that's going to help you with this timing, but you need to be, just like really listen a lot instead of like being the one that's engaging everything. But there's a really beautiful cosmic energy around you too, where there's inspiration coming through, synchronicities, messages. So in order to pay attention and notice those synchronicities and notice these kind of divine communications coming through you that are not really direct, you have to like really pay attention. You're going to need that crocodile energy right now, because I think you are going to be around groups. So you need to kind of channel the stillness and the observation of the crocodile in order to pick up on these divine messages coming through, because you're waiting for something, and it's this group energy around you is key to that. But try not to be the center of attention with it. Like kind of step a little bit outside and observe and listen and ask questions. And I think that's going to be important to this month's journey for you. Okay, so this is sort of environment and personal attitude. So the very, very general broad strokes of the month. So now we're going to get into some more particular specific things with sense of self. Oops. So we're going to do some tarot cards and some confirmation cards. So this is around kind of what you need to know about personal passions, centering, identity, sense of belonging, sense of voice, sense of value, everything that's just like really self-centered, not in a bad way, but like you do need to get centered in yourself in order to kind of like move into these other bigger things. And so like what's going on with that? Lots of sort of blues going on here. Okay, so there's a lot of very fulfilling, personally fulfilling productivity. I think you're really getting your rhythms together this month. You know, I feel like January 1, we make all these big goals and resolutions, and it's such a dark, tiring time of year that I think February is a better month to like really instill those. I feel like January is like good to make the resolutions and think and plan, and then February is like when you can actually, like, the sun is starting to rise a little and you're getting a little more energy. So I do think that you're going to start like things you've been thinking about in terms of really supporting your personal well-being, whether that's mental, emotional, physical, maybe all three. I feel like there's things you've been thinking about in terms of creating certain rhythms in your life to support your personal well-being, and I think that's really going to blossom in February and really kind of get off the ground in a way where you feel like you have traction with it and some stability with it, and you're seeing some results with that. So that's really great. And then 6 of Cups, we are, going into February. We're at the tail end of Mercury retrograde. We have some Venus retrograde going on. So there may be some things from your past, both friends, romantic, just past acquaintances. You may kind of run into some things from your past that bring up a lot of like beautiful nostalgic elements. And I wouldn't say that these will be bad, the things that get churned up from your past. I think that they will be more positive because this is an upright, and it is a, 6 of Cups is a beautiful card. So yeah, there's some stuff coming up from past. This is around your sense of self and identity. So it might not be about others. It may even be about like remembering certain parts of yourself that you've kind of lost over time, that you're starting to feel nostalgic about and wonder about whether you should kind of reignite that part of yourself and, weave some of that into these beautiful rhythms you've got going. And then also with this 8 of Cups, I feel like there's some things that have really been draining you emotionally, about where you've directed your energy, who you've thought yourself to be, and you're leaving that behind this month. You're really kind of reaching for what you want and focusing on your passions and sort of stepping away from some things that really haven't supported your sense of your personal well-being and sense of self and groundedness and centering. There's something that that you're going to need to leave behind this month in order to kind of step into where your passion is newly focused. I think this new productivity that's coming through, and this remembering of something about yourself that you haven't tapped into in a long time is going to kind of give you some energy to step away from some things that you've already been thinking about, that these certain things don't really support you in beautiful ways, or just kind of become stagnant or uninteresting, you know. Okay, we're gonna get some confirmation cards. Ooh, really beautiful. Okay. Lovely. So, yeah, these rhythms that we've talked about getting going, they're going to really help you emotionally feel unified with your own self. Your own yin and yang halves, your own inner conflicts are really going to resolve due to certain processes and rhythms that you put in place, like really getting I don't want to say strict, but really focused and committed and devoted to certain practices and rituals and rhythms in your day. You're really, gonna not only see some results from this, but it's gonna help really help you emotionally to feel to resolve some potential inner conflicts you've had, and really feel emotionally well. And then Ace of Cups with the Six of Cups. Yeah, I definitely felt like this was a positive revisiting of the past. And it is, I think, some old aspect of you that due to circumstances, life, age, whatever was going on, you just kind of, it's not like, I don't feel like this was something you abandoned. It was just like over time, you became different and had different focuses and aims, but there's something kind of coming back up or reminding you of things you used to do, or something about you, about how you were, either in childhood or 10 plus years ago, that's really coming back up to the surface and refilling something in you emotionally and igniting something within you emotionally that you, I think, are going to reclaim. Like, you haven't had the space or energy and circumstances to tap into some aspect of yourself, but it's like things are realigning to allow this again. So whatever it is, around just, a sense of who you are is kind of reemerging and coming through. And this Daughter of Swords, this is where a message, with that crocodile, I was saying there was like something you were waiting for. There is a message coming through that's going to help you with this Eight of Cups, this walking away from something that that's already stagnant. You already know it, whatever this is for you, but it's around your sense of well-being, and there's a message coming. And with this owl connected here, it's definitely connected to, again, like really, you're gonna need to be observant and wise and a bit detached and watchful for this, because it's not gonna be like, a direct email. It's like these signs you have to look for, but if you're looking, you're gonna get the message you need to help you walk away with ease from whatever you're walking away from. And I think the message is about what you want to walk towards, which makes it easier to walk away from, if that makes sense. So I really like this, your sense of self, personhood, wellness, well-being, centering. I like what we have going here. I think it's going to be a good month for you in this regard. Okay, now let's look at things around this is sort of like, what is it that you need to help ground you, support you? Could be around home and family. It could be around self-care, but just kind of like really stabilizing your life and your maturity. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is interesting. I feel like while this direction that I'm talking about, this sort of nurturance and stabilizing and depth and soulfulness to your life, so it could be family, home, self-care, while it doesn't necessarily have to do with career, it is certain things you can do to, it's an area of your life to mine, to understand where your maturity and depth and soulfulness wants to be expressed, which can lead to getting on, you know, when you tend to these things, it can lead to reaching towards more appropriate things in terms of your career and aspirations. So, and can kind of like hint towards ways you should go. So this isn't necessarily what you're doing in the world, but it is like what you're mining for to know more about your soul. And there's something very skilled within you. And I don't know if it's something you've been already working on for the last year or two, or just something that you're inherently skilled at, but it is saying like this is a time to, and I think you should know what this is, to really give some dedication to this. It's something that will take you somewhere in the future, but you do need to strengthen it. You need to nurture it and nourish it right now. So think about whatever it is that's a skill you've either been working on or that is inherent in you that you've wanted to strengthen or tend to. And there's kind of like a new order that will be given to your stability in life by doing this. So certain foundations that you have had in place, it's time to rethink them. It's time to use this skill to create a whole new foundation and to let go of other things you've built that are just, I feel like it really ties in, you know, these directions aren't completely compartmentalized. So like talking about that 8 of Cups and your sense of self, I think it's the same thing coming in here. There's something you already know is just been stagnant in your life, and you're ready to rebuild, even though that might take a lot of effort. But I think you're excited about it, and there's something about this skill that you're being asked to work on that will show you the new design, the new plans for the different tower that you're supposed to build, the different form of your life, which allows you to kind of let go of this last one, let it crumble, because it's just not interesting anymore to you. And this could even have to do with, you know, anytime we get a major arcana card, it's a little bit more serious. So this could also indicate around home, family, a real upheaval that I think you've wanted coming, and some news about that. So more news coming through. And I do think you have a lot of vitality right now to mine your depths, to deepen into the things that really channel your beautiful wisdom and your inner knowings. You have a lot of vitality around this that you can feed towards developing this skill, whatever it is, and rethinking in general your foundations, home, family. There's something you really want to shake up, and you have the energy to do it right now. Okay, let's look at confirmation cards. Ooh, that one came right out. Oh goodness. Yep. Okay, that one wants to come out. Oh, you guys, you can't make these things up. Okay, so the sun is coming through with this 8 of coins. Yeah, whatever this skill is that you're being asked to really nurture, it's going to lead you to the spotlight, and it's really has like a potent alignment with that you need to embrace. And you know, it's filled with just creative inspiration and light and energy. So yeah, this is something really, whatever this skill is to you, this is a very, very clear message. Like, give it energy. Give it energy. It is so aligned for you. And even though it's maybe not something that you're putting out into the broader world yet, like, it's really coming from a soulful place, and you just like, there's just like a Rubik's Cube or a model that's being built. There's still just pieces you're trying to put in place and figure out. And, you know, but you have the mind to do it and the design to do it. You're meant for this. It's just something that you need to work on and own and really bring out of yourself a little bit more. And then we have another major arcana card on top of this arcana card. And like I was saying, that there's like a new organization coming. It's funny because I don't always read the Tower as like something new. It's like something old needs to go, which might make way for the new. But this to me is like, you don't even care about the Tower that's falling because you have a new path to go on. That was what I was feeling, a new foundation coming through, and this is confirming that something very, very, very fresh is about to take place. So if you've been thinking about moving, if you've been thinking about adding to your family, about getting married, about anything that has to do with like your private life stability, it's time for the new. There's new energy coming here. Big energy, 2 major arcana, so that's a big deal. And then with this just general vitality that you've got, there are things mentally that you're kind of orchestrating and playing with and tweaking, but this is indicating change is on the way and you feel really jazzed up about it. It can have like sort of around these issues of foundations in life and soulfulness. There could be some inner tensions and conflicts, but that's really what creates torque and dynamic action. And you know, you're in a head space, energy space to want to do that. So this 5 of Swords, I'm reading it much more positively than it sometimes feels. You're really in this space of like ready to create change in the foundations of your life and in your soul's direction and your inner realms, knowing like lean into the tensions you feel. They're really going to give you that dynamic torque to really move life. So yeah, some big things happening down in your foundations. That's really cool. Okay, let's move on to relationships. So this could be romantic relationships. It could be any one-on-one important relationship that you have, friend, business, agents, whatever it is. kind of just the relational energy around you. And, you know, with that initial card of fellowship, you know, you're going to be around, I think, people in groups a lot. So this could be an important pile in terms of your environment this month. Really needing to lean into some relational energy and seeing what's here. Although there's no major arcanas, but anyway, it is all really beautiful. Like there's gifts coming through. You're going to be sharing, others are going to be sharing with you. A real ebb and flow and congeniality of sharing and gratitude is around you relationally. So be sure that, you know, if you have an abundance of something or extra, or just feeling giving, this is saying, yes, this is a time to share with others and a time to be receptive to others sharing with you and kind of create a flow with that. It should be really beautiful. And then Four of Wands is definitely like celebration, not necessarily like huge parties. I always think of like a little house party or a small gathering or going out to dinner. And oftentimes with very, very close, whether it's family or people who, you know, friends that feel like family, these are like, this doesn't feel businessy to me. It feels more social setting and some celebration going on, just feeling like energy is returning to life and hence to the way exchanges are taking place. So that's really fun. And then once again, we have Five of Swords here. So there are some kind of some conflicts, not necessarily like really harsh conflicts, but you are going to be around people. And I do think that going back to our crocodile and listening for messages with the cosmic egg, like it is a time to listen a little more. And you may have some strong opinions as you kind of weave in and out with a little bit more social setting this month. And I would just say to don't be too impulsive when you feel some tensions or conflicts. Just like really listen and try and put yourself in another's shoes and, you know, take a little time to think about things. This is very mental energy before you just kind of like impulsively kind of get frustrated outwardly about things. Mostly it's really beautiful social and relational energy, but there is something here and there that may come up that kind of you're looking for change is what it is. Even so, you know, both in your foundations, but also socially, like you could use this not necessarily as like certain things that are frustrating you, but there's like a tension in you that's like really wanting to shake up your social and relational life and make it a little, maybe there's been something stagnant. And so this would be saying, you know, yeah, plan some social things to help ease this tension. Like really, you take charge of shaking up, do things to meet new people, whatever you need, you know, if it's about wanting to meet new people or just needing to get out of the house, you know, take charge of that yourself. Don't sit and be frustrated and project that onto others. Because this is a relational pile, there is maybe a trap there with that. Like you need to own your feelings of pent upness or needing to shake things up socially and lead that for yourself. These are so beautiful. Oops. Okay. Yeah, this Son of Cups, it's like the Knight of Cups. Just, yeah, you're expanding the give and take in your life relationally. That's really beautiful. embrace that, really ignite that yourself, do something to be generous to others, and then watch that sort of ignite this ebb and flow of giving and receiving and beautiful generosity and gratitude that it nurtures in your relational life. 3 of Wands is coming through, just saying that yes, there are lots of collaborations. You could even be doing some projects with others that are really fun and exciting right now. And then we have 9 of Swords coming on top of 5 of Swords, and definitely there are some fears here, as well as just general angst, but some fears. I don't know what the fears are about. Being seen. When I'm looking at these eyeballs, there's something about being seen that is making you nervous, maybe, or that you're looking for ways out of certain things. Yeah, amongst this really beautiful energy, there is something going on here where you're seeking some change, and there's a little bit of anxiety around you, and I don't know if it has to do with the people you are around or with just this a need for more or new. But I would say again what I said originally, like, you need to take the reins here and make the changes that you are feeling inside, and own your feelings instead of projecting them, and I think it will be fine. So really tune into that. Is like, are you needing to expand your social circle? Are you needing to resolve a conflict with someone or cut someone out of your life? Are you needing to just get energy going socially? Investigate those feelings and identify them and take action instead of sitting on just something that's angsty in you and then projecting it, is what I would say. But there is like some little tension in you socially right now. So I think it will probably be different for each of you, and just try to spend some time like that crocodile, just be observant and observe what you're feeling, and take some time to identify what that means and what it's about, and what you can do to kind of shake that up and out of you. Okay, so our last direction is about either career or school, whatever it is that you're kind of your responsibilities in the outer world. 8 of Swords. Oh yes, this makes sense. I've been doing these daily tarot things on my Instagram, and like every single day it's been like, take stuff off your plate, you're doing too much. So like, this doesn't shock me that this continues into February. But there are some really great, there are some beautiful energies coming through as well. Okay, so 8 of Swords. This is about having, being in a state of paralysis because there's like too many options around you. So professionally or in school, like what are all of the things around you that you have to do, and are there any that you can take off of your plate? Because it's really, you're having I think a difficult time this month knowing which step to take where and where to focus, and you're just kind of shutting down with it. And if you can prioritize, like, which is the most important 2 things or 3 things, and which are the least important, and can I shelve those for a minute? Or do I need to drop a class? Do I need to ask for some time off at work? Do I need to ask for help from a different department? Whatever it is, like, I feel like you need to say some harsh no's to a few directions or a few things on your plate, and take action however that is, because you are paralyzed by all the things coming at you, especially mentally. Okay. At the same time, you do have King of Swords here, so you do have a really grounded, responsible mind, which to me is just saying that you're going to know, if you analyze what this paralysis is about, you're going to have the strength of mind to do what I just said, to drop a class if you need to ask for more help at work if you need to ask for some time off if you need to. This is just saying that you do have a lot of command mentally and stability, and so use that to help this energy out. And then the World, we've got a major arcana here. You're holding a lot on your shoulders. This card does relate to Saturn, which is kind of the taskmaster and the energy of responsibility. Sometimes I read the World more broadly and positively, but in the context of this reading, it does feel like just a pure Saturn energy coming through. That's like a major arcana one, that like this is serious. So I do want to say that whatever you do decide is a priority, you need to give it really, really good focus and attention. And that is also why, like, Saturn really likes us to focus on specific things and weed out, like, we really have to limit ourselves in order to reach and excel and master specific things. You can't be a jack of all trades with Saturn. And so I feel like that's what's going on, is like you're in a position or a circumstance where you're having to juggle a lot of things, and the World, or you've put yourself in a circumstance where you're needing to be a jack of all trades, but that's not what you are, at least right now this month. You're needing to focus on a specific thing, and you need to use your sound mind and judgment to decide which thing that is and how to take those other things off your plate. Especially this is related to, work and career life or school, these outside world pressures. Okay, let's get confirmation cards. This one is wanting to come out. Okay, Mother of Cups, Queen of Cups. Yeah, tap into, so this is saying that there is some loving advice around you, some nurturance, whether that's coming from your own soul of just like really being kind and gentle to yourself, or a mothering type of personality around you that will help you if you need help to know what to do. It's like either calling on your own just like sense of gentleness with yourself, or leaning into a loved one who's very nurturing and that can make you feel good about making some decisions about what you need to take off your plate. And this moon is saying that, like, even though you do have this mastery of mind, you're clouded, and it is completely related to this card. There's too many things on your plate, and you just really need to this is actually saying like there may not be an intellectual answer to alleviating this pressure, these too many things on your plate, and you really need to tap into your inner knowing, insight and intuition. What feels right to eliminate, what feels right to focus on. And then the Three of Cups coming through is saying that you do have support around you. You can ask. There should be the support you need around you. So ask for it in order to be able to focus on the main thing that these cards are saying. There's some main thing you're needing to focus on. And you need to tap into the support around you to help take some things off your plate so that you are able to focus the way that you need to focus. All right, those are our directions and your reading for February 2022. All my love and the best to you guys. A lot of beautiful things came through for you in this reading. So good luck in the month, and we'll see you next reading. Hello, pile 2. If this is you guys, you picked the Wind Above, Sky Below card, number 9 of Small Influences. And this does indicate that there are some big things around you that may frustrate you, because it's almost like this single individual you are just can't affect this bigger force. But this card is saying that you can, but just not in big sweeping moves. It's by little, one step at a time is the way forward this month. And really committing to that, and little things can lead to big affect. So hold back on feeling like you need to do equally big things to affect the big things in your life, and just like really commit to each next step in front of you, and trust that that systematic rhythm is giving you the strength towards these big things that you need to make an impact that you're hoping to make. As well as just like a more sound mind and a more gentle approach to whatever is in this windy, airy sky energy going on. A lot of things are moving. And this does evoke a sense of like this month could feel like the tides of the ocean, where there's high tides and low tides, and you just need to pay attention to those. And like when it's high tide, it's the small things, and when there's a low tide and it's easy to get out into the big thing and make your way out into the ocean of this big thing, go ahead and do so. But like pay attention to that force, that ebb and flow of energy, and trust in your step-by-step process this month. So this card is, as I designed this reading, sort of indicating a general main thread around the environment that you'll be in this month, like kind of what the environment will feel like to you during February. And then we're going to pull an animal card to show kind of like the energy you're coming in with. And so to see, kind of help build a strategy of like, well, you feel this way and this is the environment, so what's like the best way forward. I love getting octopus as we talked about the ocean, even though this isn't water energy. You are very curious right now, and you have your hands in many things, and you're very intelligent. So I could see that like it's like you probably want to affect many things at once, because you are very clever and connected. And this is just saying a little bit more patience, a little bit, some patience will be required of you this month, and a trust in small steps is needed, because I feel like the octopus wants to swallow things whole and feel them with every sense it has. So I do think there's going to be some patience needed, but I think you're incredibly clever. And so you can figure out a way to take a very step-by-step, little by little, gentle approach this month. keep your curiosity. And I think having this curiosity that the octopus has is a beautiful thing when you're up against something big that you don't feel like you can affect. Have fun with it. You know, I feel like this is saying, like, just be curious. Don't try to push yourself to be something you're not, or to do things you can't do. Come in with a very open and curious approach. And, you know, the octopus is a master at disguising itself. So when you need to kind of like pull back to observe, like, you're clever, you know how to put yourself in the right place at the right time, for sure. So, okay, so those are some general threads coming in with the month, kind of like where your energy is and where the environment what the environment might bring into your life. Okay, so we are going to now take a look at the 4 cardinal directions of your life with some tarot. So we'll start with the self. So kind of how to feel centered, and where your personal passions are, and well-being, you know, personal well-being. Then we'll look at the foundations of your life, so home, family, self-care, soulfulness, how you're deepening into life, and then at relationships, and then at outer world responsibilities such as school or career or whatever it may be for you. Okay, so let's look at personal energy. Okay, so there is like, I think you need to spend some time in nature to get grounded this month. Even if you don't live around nature, I'm sure there's some parks around you or some walks you can go on, just like listening to, you know, like the birds and little critters are starting to arise this month in much of the Western world. If you're super far north, maybe not so, but even if you're in a very cold, snowy place this month, that's beautiful in itself. Listen to the quiet of the snow and the ice, if that's where you are, or to birds starting to build little nests and lay little eggs. You know, there are more nature sounds coming up, and this is telling you to pay attention to the rhythms of nature to reestablish your own personal rhythms and sense of well-being. I also am seeing that you are releasing some anxiety that's been pent up. Maybe you're really feeling that stretch of the day we're having with the sun kind of starting to rise a little earlier and set a little later. Maybe you are have like seasonal affective disorder, or really affected by the dark time of year, or maybe there's just been some things in the past months that have been difficult that are easing up. There's an easing up in some kind of anxiety in your mind. So lean into that with some mindfulness, with a little, if you need little power naps, whatever you need to kind of like restore some balance in your mind as it eases up, you can help that process. Like, this is happening naturally, but you can do things to help that along its way. And then 6 of Wands, there's some sort of personal sense of victory that's coming through for you. Maybe you've accomplished something, or you're just feeling physically more present, and it's being noticed, and you have an energy about you that is starting to rise and is garnering a little bit of attention. So you might be flaunting yourself a bit. That's, you know, have at it, girl or guy or they, whatever you want to use as a pronoun. That's what I'm feeling. You're feeling it. You're feeling things, which is great because, you know, I feel for you that you've maybe been here the past couple months with some anxiety. So yeah, lean into those good feelings, and nature, I think being in some nature will really help them surface. Yeah. Oh, lovely cards. Okay. 10 of Cups. Yeah, so great. We've got 4 of Wands with the Page of Coins. So spending time in nature, you could do, even though it's for your personal well-being, this could be fun to do with others as well, going on walks with friends, or I don't know, just spending more time with others outdoors if possible. I think this is really going to recharge some kind of energy in you. And there's a new sense of security coming through for you, some stability and inner knowing that's happening around this Nine of Swords that's allowing you to really move forward very fast out of whatever this anxiety, depression, angst, fear, whatever that's been, sleeplessness, insomnia. Yeah, there's like a new inner stability you've found that is going to very quickly lead you out of here. And I do think, again, you're going to be around people this month out of personal want. And it's going to really bring a lot of joy and compassion and love and harmony into your life. And you're kind of going to be the center of it. So maybe take initiative and plan a little something with your loved ones, whether that's friends or family, you know, be the social orchestrator of things, because I really see you needing to be out and about. It's funny because I oftentimes with this self energy, it's so much about like centering in yourself, but I feel like for you right now, this month, to center in yourself, it's about getting more social interaction and being out in the world and touching nature and people and your energy. So, okay. All right, so now we're going to look at kind of the foundations of your life. So how you're deepening your intuition, how you're finding stability either through home and family or self-care, what kind of maturity is coming through you this month. 10 of Cups again. You guys really, really need to be around people. Okay. Okay. So, self-care, it's again, I just feel like there's so much energy in you about needing to be around others. That octopus energy is just like really craving to touch things, and to be curious and active in life. And that's coming through again with 10 of Cups in your foundations. You may have people over to your home or be in other people's homes this month, that feels in a way that feels very celebratory and lovely and nurturing and nourishing. Other people will feel nourishing to you. There are some things, some hopes, some progress you've been looking for in terms of it could be home, family, or some kind of personal project you've been mining for just to have better insight into yourself. And this may feel a little bit stagnant this month. Is like your vision for life in terms of the vision of the foundation you want in life may feel a little elusive this month. So I would say just like really lean into that social fun. And there's something just incubating around the vision you have for the foundations of your life, your home and family, self-care. There's something that's not quite clear, and it's in incubation, and just let it be that. Use the octopus to be curious but not pressured with it, you know, that little by little, step by step thing. I think that's really coming in here. Or there may be some big obstacle that you don't quite know how to get over with this. And just take one step at a time. Be curious, be open. Don't try to push things here. And just lean into that fun with social life. And then the Hermit is coming along to say that you also need to, in terms of self-care, you need to give yourself some private time. So if you're in a home with a lot of other people, whether that's roommates or family members, find, you know, maybe that's that going out in nature alone versus with people. Or if you have the ability to have private space in your home, maybe that's where you know, but there's something about really needing to go into your own instincts and insights and intuitions to mine your own creativity for you. You're trying to work something out. And these two do actually feel related in some ways. It's sort of like you're trying to work out what this vision is of your foundations in life. And you need a little bit of personal space away from other people's opinions, away from expectations, to find your own connection that's really distinct to you. Yeah, so plan a little bit of time to help you process this, get in touch with your own wants and needs outside of other opinions. Yeah, let's see what the confirmation cards say. Got a couple. I'll take the top one. Okay, so King of Swords here. I think you need to be the one to plan certain celebrations with your loved ones. So this could be spending time with loved ones or having something in your home. But I think you need to take the initiative to do this. People may be looking up to you to do this as well. And then 9 of Cups. This eases this up a little. You do have an emotional fulfillment right now in your foundations, but there's like something. It is interesting that there's a moon on this 9 of Cups. There's something that is, even though like things in general, at least from the outside, look maybe perfect in your foundational life, your home and family situation, there's just like one, and you appreciate it, you know that there's like one key that's like off, or it's like a puzzle, you know, or it's like one piece is missing, or you have this piece you're fixated on figuring out where it goes, even though the picture itself is beautiful you're putting together. It's just like you're trying to work out these, you know, going back to the I Ching card, it's like working out all the little small details within the bigger picture. There's some pieces that, you know, things are beautiful and really lovely, but there's just some pieces you're trying to tweak and figure out that are sort of eluding you. And it's just like you know, take your time with it. Things are good, so don't stress about this. And if you just take kind of like one step at a time and take your time to do a little bit of self investigation of like what your wants and needs are, it may really clear this up. And Daughter of Pentacles is coming in to really just say, yeah, like this to me again is sort of like some nature. I really think this Hermit needs to be out, not in home. You need to go out in nature alone. Solo walks in a park, hikes if you have access to that and okay weather for that. But yeah, there's some personal investigation you're needing to do to help figure out some kind of question or obstacle. Even though things are really good, there's some vision you're trying to get that's eluding you, and I think it's relating to needing to do some personal investigation of what you need, and getting into nature will really help you with that alone time. Okay, let's look at your relationships. Lot of mental energy in your relationships. You're conflicted about someone or some relationship in your life. This could be an open conflict, or it could be a conflict within you about a certain person. And we're going to lean into the confirmation card to know what to do with that. But there is some kind of tension in you, I think, with a specific person, a specific relationship that I don't, this card could be related or could be another thing. Could be the core of this issue, but like your heart's been a little broken lately, or disappointed or let down in some way. And I don't know if that's a bigger thing that's just affecting something right now, or if it's directly related to who this is. But it certainly touches into the core. There's something you're really, really protecting with your heart because it has been wounded. And yeah, we're going to see with the confirmation cards what we can do about that. At the same time, there's some group energy that's been a little bit prickly, that's easing up. So in terms of group relationships, that should be getting, I don't want to quite say it's getting good, but it's getting less prickly. So yeah, your relational energy is a little bit difficult this month, I'm not going to lie. Let's see what the confirmation cards say. I feel like I need more information about this. Ooh, 3 of Swords twice, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll get there. Major Arcana is coming out with this conflict. There is a relationship in your life, and again, I don't quite know if this is an inner tension or an actual known conflict between you and someone, but it's like you don't, something about this is preventing you from feeling like you have control of your own life. So I don't know if the other is controlling in this tension, relational tension, or if you're not taking assertive action to create the boundaries and order you need for your life, which is allowing others to kind of use you a bit, maybe. Regardless, what I want to say is you need to find your own sense of structures and boundaries and rules in order to ease whether this is an inner tension or an outer conflict. You need to take control of your life. You need to be assertive about what you want and what your boundaries are, and take no prisoners on that. It's up to you to resolve this, and even if it might feel a little hurtful or something, you need to understand your boundaries though, and respect them in order to reestablish some sort of order in your life. And then 3 of Wands with the 3 of Swords. Oh no, wait, this is 3 of Pentacles, sorry, with the 3 of Swords. This may be a work issue. I think this is a work issue for some of you. But I think even if it's not a work issue, it will probably resonate what I'm saying. There's some kind of chain of command, hierarchical structure in your relational realm, which, makes the most sense being a work scenario, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe your family is very structured in the way it functions, or there's ways your friend groups or your relationship works that is like someone's, or even in your household, like someone's head of household, someone's the mediator, the kids are the workers or something. But there's like a chain of command that is really paralyzing your heart and constricting it. It's like not free to be as gentle as it wants to be. And I think it's, again, like, I do think, going back to this card, I think you need to really take a strong stand. I mean, this is the one major arcana that came out, and it seems like a big message to me. Like, you really need to step into a commander of yourself and demand your requirements, your boundaries, and your needs, and really make them known instead of holding on to them inside of yourself. I don't know if this 3 of Swords relates to that 3 of Swords, but there is a group dynamic. I think this is showing the potential of what could happen, because there is this, at least with this card, there is some kind of group dynamic going on in relationships. It's hierarchical, and it's like, if you can express your needs and take a stand for yourself, this prickliness and this tension and constriction in your heart will ease up. And I think, going back to the original card of the environment, it's like, this may feel like you're up against a great force that you don't have the power to take on. It's sort of like systematically take one step at a time that establishes the order and boundaries you need. So you may even have to be a little bit like covert with this. For some of you, you need to be very clear and overt. And for some of you, this is like one little step at a time and establishing little boundary after little boundary and kind of chipping away at that. Either way, by taking action with this, it will ease up this painful energy I'm feeling. Yeah, so determine for yourself whether it's taking like a big stand or little stand by little stand, one thing at a time. But you need to start asserting some boundaries for yourself with others, so that you're not kind of being controlled in some way. I don't know. Okay, last pile, we're going to look at outer world responsibilities, so school or work or some expertise you're whittling away at, authority figures. Okay. Yeah, this feels very connected to the hexagram where there's like something big going on. We have another major arcana card here. There's something big going on where you don't know how to affect it or get past some hurdle. And this is specifically about your place in the world. School, profession, a position you hold that's not necessarily work related. There's some kind of hurdle that you don't know how to approach it. And this again is that like little step by little step, being curious like the octopus. There's something about your perspective that is needing to broaden and see from different angles, because you're a little bit stagnant in the understandings and mindset you currently have in relation to this big thing. So you need to get open-minded. You need to let go of potentially any ego you have around the way you have done things and get a little bit curious about other ways, and just be okay this month investigating those, being curious about them, dabbling, trying things, but staying very open-minded. And I think this is saying like halt taking action on big things in the world. This is like almost a reflection of the Hangman. So you're the King of Wands and you need to put yourself in the Hangman position. To sort of break free of old ways and old mindsets and old programming around how to do something out in the world with the role you're in, whether that's student or professional or committee member, whatever this is about. I actually think this is more about you, and this is more about your position. You have a groundedness to you in terms of like how you hold yourself in the world, and a lot of wisdom and practicality. And so, you know, this can be slightly stubborn energy, the Queen of Coins. You know, that earth energy can be a little bit hard to push to change. But you are very practical and you are willing to work hard. And so this is saying you have the ability and you're very capable. You just need to do a little bit of like rewiring and reprogramming and keeping your mind open this month in order to kind of like update your program in terms of like what you're trying to do with your responsibilities out in the world. Okay, let's look at confirmation cards. The last pile got world in this place too. Well, in this direction. Yeah, this definitely feels there's something important to you in terms of like how you want to see yourself in the world, and you just need to take a broader view and be willing to tweak and update some things about yourself in order to step into the role you dream about. And this is a great month for those investigations and for that updating and rewiring to be able to take place. So take advantage of that rather than feeling sort of frustrated by it. It's a real beautiful opportunity for you to kind of like, you know, how our computer systems have new operating systems that update every now and then. Like this is the time for you in terms of like what you're trying to do in the world, to get the update in order to continue on the path to be that, to do whatever it is you want to do in the world. There is, this is bringing a new thing into here. You may be getting like a little bit badgered or attacked by others due to the perspectives you've held that are maybe a little outdated, in terms of what you're trying to do. And you don't need to let this make you feel bad, and it's okay to sort of like hide away from people right now that are being a little bit prickly in terms of, this isn't, I mean, this could relate to those relationships that we talked about with work, but I think it's okay for you, whether it relates or not, to kind of like remove yourself from those people and situations while you're doing your personal work to do your updates, because there are some people sort of like on your back, I think. And this is coming in with King of Wands on top of Queen of Coins. So you have the practicality and the caring and the capabilities to take care of this. And then this month on top of that, you have a lot of motivation and energy to for this update. You're really ready to step up your game, upload the new programs, broaden your perspectives. Like you have the energy to do this and the opening to do it. So again, going back to that hexagram card, take one step at a time. Don't tackle or like, you know, feel lost like you're out of the loop or way behind on something. Our world is changing so fast right now, especially technologically. It's like every year there's new ways of doing all sorts of technical things that it's so easy to all of a sudden, you know, not be up to date on something. I think all of us go through this. So just don't feel like it's too late. Don't feel like you're too behind on something. Give yourself some space to experiment, research, update yourself, and you know, I think you have the energy to do it and the want to do it. So yeah, just one step at a time and you'll get there. And that'll be great. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Happy February. Hello, pile 3. If this is you guys, you picked the very first hexagram, sky above, sky below, creative power. And this hexagram is made up of all yang lines. So there's 6 lines in each hexagram, a combination of straight and broken lines. The filled in straight lines are yang and the broken ones are yin, and every single 6 lines on this is a yang one. So this is about right timing for creative action. Things have inspiration, action, potential, manifesting qualities right now, and there's a lot of strength. The one thing that has to be looked for is arrogance, which could undermine this. So you have to still be sort of like sensitive to the situation and aware. So if you get arrogant, things may not happen, but if you're just filled with passion and love and creativity, timing is ripe. So in these readings, the way I designed it is this hexagram card is kind of showing the environment that you're going to be around for the month. They're kind of like the main thread running through the environment of February for you. So a lot of ripe timing, a lot of energy around you, a lot of open doors, a lot of just inspiration happening, and kind of a welcoming energy. So we're going to look at this animal wild unknown deck to get sort of a look into what energy you're coming in with. So this is sort of the environment, and then the animal card will show sort of like where you're at, what your energy's like, and then we can see how these align or kind of a strategy to make them work together. Woo. We'll take the top one. I love this. Inspiration, inspiration, inspiration. You need to take action on the visions that you have. This is the month to really ignite some things. So beautiful. So listen to, this is one of the, you know, these wild unknown animals kind of connect to the different elements, earth, air, water, fire, but then there's a spirit element, which is what the unicorn falls under. So it kind of connects to the third eye chakra. So really tap into envisioning certain things you want for your life. There's so much creative potential around you with your energy and attitude really aligning so incredibly well with the open doors just flying open at any time you are near them. So maybe also like be focused, you know, on what you actually do want, because there may be a lot of opportunities, which doesn't mean you should act on every opportunity. Get really clear in that mind's eye of what you want, and don't get distracted by other potentials that don't really mean that much to you, but that might be persuasive in a moment. Like get, you know, really focus on what you want and take be assertive about it. Take action on these things. Don't hold back. Okay, beautiful initial energy. I love this. We're going to now look at tarot cards for the 4 main kind of areas of life. I call them the cardinal directions of life, which is your sense of self. So how you need to get centered, where your passions are, and then your foundations in life, so more private life things that give you a sense of security, such as home and family and self-care, and what you do to kind of awaken and deepen your soulfulness, what's like deep inside of you. And then we'll look at relationships. And then the last direction is about your public place in the world. So outer world responsibilities, which could correlate to work, profession, school, committees, you know, whatever it is out in the world that you kind of have responsibilities in. Okay, so we're going to look at self first. Six of Swords. Three of Cups. And Two of Coins. Lovely. Okay, so you are finding new, calmer, like you may have in the past month or so been in some turbulence, in some environments that have not been great for your personal well-being. That's maybe brought some stress or anxiety, and you're finding some calmer territory. So you're finding environments in your life this month that are helping you to calm your energy, to feel more centered, to feel more clear, and to feel more optimistic about your future. And then Three of Cups is showing that some social interaction could be really good for your sense of well-being right now, and could really ground you and center you. You know, part of February is ruled by the sign of Aquarius, which is friendship and groups. So it doesn't surprise me seeing this showing up. And it's funny, I feel like for a lot of the year in the self-direction, you know, you're going to want to find some quiet personal space to center, but there's something, I've seen this in most of the piles so far, that like some social interaction is really good for our kind of finding our center right now. And specifically for your pile, that is true. And then Two of Coins, it does show that you probably have some responsibilities on your plate that you're juggling that could be affecting your well-being, some responsibilities that are maybe bringing a little bit of stress and a little bit of pressure. At the same time, seeing those environment and attitude cards that came through, there are opportunities, and so it is a time in terms of like feeling your passions to push things forward, so to put things up in the air and to juggle a few things. I think you're going to feel inspired to do so. So even though it may bring some pressure and stress, I think at the same time it's going to be very exciting. And I do love this Two of Coins card. It's sort of like this, there's this really energetic arm. It's like coming out of water, and it's juggling with one hand. I don't know, it's just like it feels very inspired and magical, and that's what I'm getting. Like, yeah, it's a balancing act, but I think that you have some magic within you, and you feel playful and excited by this. So nothing to be scared of, some pressures, but that feel good to you and that feel inspired and exciting. Okay, let's get some confirmation cards. Ooh. Mother of Cups, Strength. Wheel of Fortune, yeah. Okay, so Mother of Cups with the Six of Swords. This could either be you, the Mother of Cups, like finding a real sense of self-care and nurturance for yourself that's allowing you to feel more calm and see something bright about your future. Or there could be someone very nurturing around you that is bringing this energy into your life of like feeling held and cared for, which is allowing you to have a sense of security in yourself to look forward in life. So that's really beautiful. And then you've got strength with the Three of Cups. So, you know, this is a very Leo-esque card, and also like an ability to really tap into our intuition, to use gentle strength in order to sort of move life and stand up to life and lead in life. And I see this as you kind of being the center of a group and instigating group things maybe, and really feeling like soulful and a source of strength to a group. And it feels really good to you to be so, which is great. And then the Wheel of Fortune card is indicating to me that like this card shows where destiny or fate puts us into new phases of life. It's not things that we've done to create that. It's just, you know, like the cycles of the season. The same type of thing can happen in our life where we just progress through certain phases. And so not out of anything you've done, but some phases are changing. And I think this is what's really opening up the door for you to be able to put some things in motion and start creating. So look for that switch in some kind of cycle that really connects to your personal center, your personal passions. Something's opening up for you to make more dynamic movement and put your inspired desires into motion. So this is a great reading around your sense of self. Fantastic. Let's look at your foundations. So could be home, it could be family, it could be how you're self-caring, and also just how you're finding a sense of kind of maturity in life through deepening into things that are intuitive and soulful and empathic. And ooh, okay, well, that card wants to come out at least. Three of Coins. Those are nice cards. Another nice layout for your foundations. So yeah, I mean, you're feeling very your sense of self that's feeling alive and engaged is extending into how you're touching into your soulfulness and your depth. You feel very alive down in the foundations of your life, and it's helping you to really make beautiful connections in that personal territory with family, with loved ones. You're just like very connected right now and very supported. And even within yourself, your two, you know, your yin and yang half feel very aligned and energized, and there's no fear. Sometimes we can have a lot of fear in these foundational places because it takes a lot of intuitive understanding rather than rational, logical understanding. But you're feeling free within this to go deep, to trust your intuition, and to animate it. And then Three of Coins indicates to me that like you are getting along well with the people in your private life, and potentially doing little projects together to make things more comfortable and more beautiful or more secure. But things are, yeah, just really flowing nicely in these foundational areas. Yeah, a lot of energy and support here. Things are flowing for you guys. Wow. Those initial cards were not joking. Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. Goodness. Mother of Swords. Beautiful. Okay. There are, within your private life, this doesn't necessarily have to do with work or the responsibilities on your plate, but like within your, how you're caring for your home, for your family, and for yourself. It looks like this month you'll have a lot of rhythmic energy around this, and there's opportunity to really create systems around, you know, I mean, and examples would be, you know, how you get your grocery shopping done and your cleaning done, and have time for a bath to relax, and meditation and yoga, you know, like things that or if you have kids, like they're getting their homework done and to bed on time, like all these types of private life rituals and routines. There's a lot of opportunity this month to create some systematic rhythms around them that show a lot of productive results, and a lot of fulfillment around those. And then the Mother of Swords or Queen of Swords is showing up around this Three of Coins. So how you're working with others in your private life, like you have a lot of insight and clarity. You may kind of want to be the the boss of what's going on here, which is great because you've got this creative spark right now, and you've got that energy and that insight and that clarity. So go ahead and take that role if that's something you're wondering about, to get some things in motion and to get the people in your private life you know, working together and working with you to make everything more beautiful and stable and lovely. And yeah, this is, I mean, wow, you guys. Take advantage of this month. Do not sleep on it. I'm serious. You've really got some opportunities to do some great things and feel like you've made some progress this month, you know? Okay, so this is about relationships. Oh, wow. This card is not a card in any other tarot. It's very specific to this deck. It's a really beautiful card. Okay, so in relationships, there is something, this completely connects to that unicorn energy to me. There's something magical happening that feels like it's outside of space and time, some like cosmic, meant to be universally orchestrated beauty around you and the relationships in your life. So it could be your romantic partner, it could just be people you have really close one-on-one relationships. If you need to find advocates in your life or anything, so our relationship sector also relates to finding like agents or managers. If there's something like that, if you need to sell a house, you're looking for an agent for something you do, you're looking for mentorship with something, you're looking to move a romantic courtship into something more serious, you're thinking about marriage. This is like there's very cosmically orchestrated things and energy around you in relationships this month. So, wow, you guys, this is crazy. And then you've got Knight of Wands. So you're really expanding and pushing and exploring your creativity with others, with the way you're harmonizing and partnering. I really think that this one to me feels much more relational, almost in a business sense. I mean, it could be romantic too, but like you're really able to find the right partnering opportunities to expand your life right now in beautiful ways. So definitely be on the lookout for people who are wanting to team up with you, to partner with you on things. Also, like I said in the beginning, though, don't just say, like, check in with that body language or sensation that comes up to you when you say yes or no to things. Like if your body feels a little stuck about it, it's a no. And if it feels excited and open, it's a yes. But be aware that there are a lot of opportunities around you in relationships. And so be assertive about this and find kind of these open doors through others that could lead to some great things, and check in with those yeses and nos, how they feel if you're getting a lot of this. And then the Hierophant upside down is showing that you're I really love this. I think you're sort of like part of what's allowing you to find some expansiveness and some magic in this relational realm is you're sort of done with expectation and traditional roles in relationships, and you're looking to shake it up, and you're looking for things that are out of the box and unique, and it's really bringing some beautiful dynamic potential and harmonies around you because of your willingness to kind of be more open-minded and original in the way you relate with others and harmonize with them and what you're doing with others. Okay, so confirmation cards. Again, really beautiful. Whoops. Okay, so in this sort of magical quality around you, sort of divinely orchestrated stuff, there is, it's like there are, this is what I'm seeing here is, it's like these two wands are like a doorway you're entering. This is like the 11 in numerology. You're not just sort of like stepping into a new beginning, like a 1. The 11 is like stepping into a new beginning that's a portal to a whole different level up. It's not just like a new thing, it's like a new dimension. So you're really beyond this just being like very magical energy around relationships. It's sort of like you've passed some kind of test and you're leveling up in the types of relational harmonies that you're drawing into yourself. So this is like a not just this month is initiating you into something that goes forward for, you know, past this month. You've leveled up, you've graduated into a new realm of relational territory. And then this expansive energy, you've been laying seeds for a long time in different relationships and cultivating them. So I think you're going to know these partnering opportunities that come up. They're going to be ones that you've put energy into already. So if something comes out of the blue that you haven't really imagined or asked for or thought of, that might be where you have to really check your body for the yes or no. But the things you've really been cultivating relationally that all of a sudden show up and are open to you that maybe you've had a hard time breaking through with. Yeah, these are going to open to you now this month. Really beautiful. And then you're really discovering something new about your heart. This Daughter of Cups or Page of Cups. I think in the past, you've sort of had certain norms and expectations around how you've thought about and were programmed and enculturated around relational quality, and you've kind of shed those constructs to step into what your heart really is in its essence, and to drop all of these boundaries and learnings that don't align, and just being uniquely you. And it's really opening your heart up to be just alive, just vibrationally alive right now. And that's why these things are happening. Wow. Okay, so let's move on to career or whatever, outer world responsibilities. So work, career, schooling, committees, whatever it may be. Okay, everyone so far has had a little bit of a tough draw on this one, and the same could be said here. So just trying to get yeah, you've had some disappointments. I'm actually really interested to see where the confirmation cards go, because I feel like this is indicating where you've come from. Just because of what the cards are they're talking about things that relate to the past. So I feel like they're talking about the past. So like the Five of Cups has indicated that there's been some disappointment in your heart, emotionally, in something related to your responsibilities or what you're aspiring to do and be. But there's still some beautiful things. Even though there's been some disappointments, there's some beautiful things, and you need to turn towards what you do have and what is there. And I think that because of the hexagram of the number, the creative power and the unicorn, I think the Two Cups you haven't been paying attention to, some emotional connection to certain things you're doing that you've not given as much attention to as the spilled cups, are actually the cups that hold so much fulfillment in your heart. And so you need to turn towards what you do have and recognize the power in that and the fulfillment that can come from that. And recognize that the ones that have spilled were not for you anyway. Yeah. And I think that's what this Judgment card is also talking about, is sort of like a judgment has come down that there are certain things that are just not meant for you. They were never part of your design. And so you shouldn't and judgment has come along to just like wipe them out of your sight so you don't waste your time on them. So they're like giving you a little bit of a shortcut, even though it feels disappointing. It's helping you to try and say, well, these are gone. Leave it, let it go. Look at what you do have. Look, look, look. You're not looking. This is magic and it's meant for you and it's right here. Look at what you've got. What emotional feelings, what kind of satisfaction do you have left in something that you're doing or that you've meddled with? It holds something amazing for you, and judgment's trying to eliminate certain things so you can start focusing better on the things you haven't really given the time of day to. And again, with the Nine of Wands, I think this is the same thing it's saying, sort of like you've had a lot of aspirations and a lot of things you've been trying to do, and it's just gotten in your way. So it's trying to eliminate anything that's really not meant for your path, to help you focus. It's a gift. This is a gift to help you see what's not meant for you, hence what is meant for you, what's left, you know, what are you not giving enough energy to because you've been spread too thin. Yeah, it's time to, with that creative potential, creative power, as magical and beautiful as it is, that unicorn quality is saying, but you need to focus on some specific things. You can't be a jack of all trades. That's come through that came through for pile 2 too, like in this part of the reading. Like, stop trying to be a jack of all trades, or circumstantially, if you're having to be, even if you don't want to be, it's time to quit that. You need to pick a focus and not trying to do so many things. Hanged Man. Ten of Swords. Yeah. Oof. Okay, we'll get there. Yeah, again, this is you need to broaden your perspective. Even though there's been disappointments, you need to, this is almost the exact same thing as pile 2. It's so interesting. It's like you need an update in your programming system, like a computer, in order to see something differently about what you're aspiring to do or be or accomplish or complete. I don't know. If you could see what you have left from a different angle and update some of your thinking around this, some of your understandings and knowledge around this, if you need to learn some new information to help you engage with these things that are still left around your emotional fulfillment in terms of what you're reaching for, you need to take this month as an opportunity to kind of like update your perspectives and your understandings and knowledge about certain things in order to take advantage of what is there. Because what is there is really beautiful and meant for you. And you have this card, exact. If you want to look at pile 2 specifically, their career section, this is like so similar. This exact card came out. You have support around you. If you need to ask for help, you should do so. If you need, I think I had brought up mentorship in the relationship thing, like it could be a good time to find a new mentor or a new class or something that can support you in sort of like being able to see the opportunities that are right in front of you and how to engage them with a little bit more of an updated understanding. And this is, again, it's like focus. You need to let go of the past, let go of the things that are trying to leave. It's time to free your mind of the multitudinous things you're trying to do and pick a thing, a direction, a focus. Stop trying to do 50 things. I think that's what it's saying. Okay, so that is your reading for February. I think it's really beautiful. There's just something in the air for every pile around career section that's a little bit tough. But I think it's like a calibration that's happening that's helping people kind of refocus and better focus and find alignments rather than scatteredness, and sort of updating thinkings. And there are beautiful opportunities, support, doors to help you gain the knowledge you need, the updates you need. Let go of what's trying to leave. It's not for you. What is for you is coming in with support to help you feel ready and capable of handling the things that you're supposed to focus on. Okay. Beautiful reading, you guys. Happy February, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, pile 4, last pile. This is your February 2022 reading, and the main card of your reading that you picked is Youthful, Folly, the 4th hexagram, which is mountain above, water below. So this card, I designed this card to sit in this reading representing sort of the environment, or the greatest sort of thread woven throughout your month of the environment that's going to be around you for February. So Youthful Folly is indicating that you're kind of in this atmosphere, environment of student-teacher vibration, where sometimes you are going to feel like a teacher and sometimes you're going to feel like a student, and to really be open and receptive to certain things that you need to learn more around, where you've maybe been a bit naive around expectations, or thinking that you're more equipped than you are in certain ways, and to seek out certain wisdoms and mentors and learning you need to kind of up your game and find more confidence and stability, but then also recognizing when you're in this position where you can serve as a mentor or teacher to others in things that you are much more experienced in than they. But also not to be controlling about this, to let people learn their hard lessons. Sometimes it's only through experience that we learn things, and to allow people to have that journey and sort of just be there for advice when they ask for it or need it. So I feel like in the environment, the atmosphere, there's going to be this vacillation between needing to swim between being a student and a teacher. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens for you. Let's see. Okay, and then we're going to pick an animal archetype to show sort of your mindset and energy you're entering the month with, and then kind of seeing how these match up. So the environment versus like your attitude at the time. And so being able to kind of come up with a bit of a strategy, or to see how they align or don't align. Okay, so let's see. Pile 4s. Energy and mentality. Stingray. Okay, so some of these lessons, teacher-student interactions may revolve around you needing to gain a sense of strength and confidence in your backbone in life. So that could be admitting when you need help to level up, or stepping into a teacher role may be scary to you, or you may not feel confidence in your ability to do that, but to do it anyway. That's what I'm seeing here, is like you're going to be challenged this month to either admit you need more learning and information, or being brave enough to step into the teacher, mentor, guide role. So, okay, let's look at the more specific events of the month through tarot. So we're going to look at the 4 directions of life, which are self, what's kind of lighting us up, or you up, I should say, your centering, what you need for you this month, and then your foundations, which could be like home, family, self-care, but also intuition and deepening into soulfulness and what really nourishes you, and where your poetic connection to life is. Hence, like, your more mature understanding of being in the world. And then we'll look at relationships. And then last of all, we will look at your responsibilities and position in the world, such as, that vacillates for everyone. It could be career and profession. It could be that you're a student, or it could be like, a mother who's on a committee, or, it could be many things, but we are going to start with pile 4's sense of self. Woo, in February. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's get out. Look at this sword energy. And the 2 of Wands. That's good. Okay, so you are with this 10 of Swords. There's something that's made you feel just like overexerted, drained, the end of the line, burned even. And it's affected your well-being and your sense of feeling centered. So I don't know if it's been the past month or longer, but this is leaving this month. I think there's been a lot on your plate, and some of these things are falling away, and you're going to have like a bit of a pause to recenter with this 4 of Wands. This is showing that you're going to have some time to rest, and you should take advantage and do so. You may have, sometimes when we get in these bigger energies, the 10s, we kind of have gained sort of an addiction to busyness or stress. And so if that's you, you need to kind of force yourself into some downtime to recalibrate and change that sort of addiction to too much. Knight of Swords, you're really regaining interest, curiosity to expand who you are, your sense of self, but maybe in mind. And I think you need this rest in order to mentally just kind of process and explore where you're going and who you are and what you are expanding into being as a person and what you need to feel grounded and well in life. And then you've got Two of Wands indicating that there is, I think by the end of February, I haven't done this yet in a pile, but this one I am almost wanting to read in a linear fashion. Like at the start of the month, a lot is coming off of your plate. You're taking a rest to regain some energy and clarity, and you're starting to mentally explore and push your boundaries of like what you want to do for you, who you think you are. And then by the end of the month, you're kind of like taking assertive action and finding like some new passions and new projects that really have you energized. Okay, so let's look at some confirmation cards. Let's see what else comes up about these thoughts. Okay. Okay, so you have a couple of major arcana. So this is a big section of life for you this month. Finding your centering and supporting your well-being. So, yeah, this release of mental burdens, of burnout, entering the month in this kind of like having hit a wall in your personal energy, you're having like no desire left, just like releasing that, engaging that, admitting it, and just like that decompression mode of just like letting go is really going to ignite like a new inner flame that you may not completely know what it's about, but you should be able to sense that there is something, some new little flicker inside of you. And so that's why it is really important for that Four of Wands moment, like a week into the month, to like really give yourself some rest in order to nourish this inner flame that's kind of sparking, which will lead you into even a little bit more boldness of that flame, of like actually taking action in terms of like a new idea, a new project, a new desire, finding some focus, finding a way to expand or touch into this a little bit. It's through rest and nurturing that new little spark that will lead to you being able to kind of like see a way forward. And so the rest is really required for you to kind of regain some calm in order to see clearly how you can expand into that new spark within. And this is indicating to me that there's, by mid-month or in the third week of the month, this new sense of inner harmony taking place, where some potential inner conflict has finally resolved, and you have like, instead of feeling sort of this tension or being pulled in different ways, it's like you have a direction, and the whole of you is on board to go towards that direction and really start to expand into something. So I can see how the stingray, it's sort of like, it's almost like you're too tired to stand in your strength, but by mid-month, I think you're really going to have to push into like mustering your courage and your strength to like stand for what you want and do something you really, really wholeheartedly want to do. And being okay being a novice with that youthful folly environment card, I think that could be indicating like you are maybe setting out into something new, or you feel like, that imposter syndrome or something. And to be okay with it because your whole self is going for it, and that's beautiful. And then you've got Justice card, and I think this is really going to help come in and like give you a new sense of balance. And I love that it's matched up with the two, because the Justice in some other tarots has like the scales, so there's like a quality of balancing two things. But in general, it's finding your balance. Maybe some karmic things with that 10 of Wands has diminished, and you can kind of reclaim direction, balance, desire in life, and really start to take action because of that balance that you're finding. Okay, so that is your sense of self. Let's move on to the foundations of your life, where this is kind of, it could be about home, it could be about family, it could be about self-care, and some kind of deepening into soul and intuition and maturity. We'll see what comes up though. So High Priestess in reverse. Devil in reverse. Moon in reverse, and Wheel of Fortune upright. Ooh, I like this. Again, I'm kind of seeing like it's so funny how this is like, it's not how I did the other readings, but it feels like a progression, a linear progression through the cards for the month. Like, I think, your intuition is just like, you're not trusting it as you enter the month. It's maybe just exhausted to match the 10 of Swords and your sense of self. Like, if your sense of self is exhausted, it's really hard for anything else to be calibrated or going well. And I think that we might see that affecting, we'll see the first card of each section. But yeah, you're like coming into the month just like too exhausted to even know how to pay attention to your intuition, hence how to choose any sort of direction in life. And I think you just, as you give yourself the rest, this will be restored. And it's okay that that for now, I think you just need rest coming into the month. And it's okay if you don't feel either mentally clear or intuitively clear. Just I'm telling you, you need some sleep. You need some self-care for you. And I think, yeah, this to me is like a core of what might be going on, is you've had some attachments to certain ways that you wanted life to be or feel, or there's been some attachment to how you've wanted life to feel, and it hasn't maybe gone well lately. And I think this exhaustion is helping you to release these attachments, because they've done nothing but drain you. And due to that, by mid-month, confusion, the moon can be a lot of confusion, but when it's upside down, that confusion is beginning to leave. So this is about acknowledging the exhaustion you have, and that it may be coming from certain attachments to wanting life to be a certain way, and it hasn't been. And so just like really releasing those, which clears up some confusion, brings sort of a reality check, and just a fresh slate, and that is going to push your life into a whole new phase. So the foundations of your life by the end of February, because of this rest, detachment from certain expectations, a new sense of clarity coming through, a certain stuckness is suddenly going to start moving, and a new phase is going to come in for you around your depths and stability and foundations in life, which is really, really beautiful. I think it's going to be hard to do. It can be really hard to let go of attachments sometimes, but it's going to be very cleansing. Every single one of these cards is a major arcana. So this is going to be a really, really, really big thing for you this month. Okay, confirmation. Yeah, okay. So, this is an interesting Mother of Wands, so it's just like the Queen of Wands, but in this card, it's like this snake protecting her eggs. And I feel like these eggs are these new intuitive qualities incubating, and you can't quite know what's in them or what this new baby thing is going to be. It doesn't have to be a literal baby, but like new energy that's about to be birthed down here in your foundations. You're really needing to protect something and to rest yourself so you can incubate something new that's generating in you around the energy in your depths. And so this is, to me, just like another confirmation of just like going within, resting, protecting something within you. And then the Four of Cups is some meditation. And I think that this rest is going to help you really kind of connect into a certain depth you really haven't had access to yet, to see what it is you actually want versus what you've been attached to. Hence, sort of like being able to let go of certain attachments because you're connecting into this deeper core thing. It hasn't been about these things that you've really wanted. It's been about something else, and you're going to figure that out. It's going to be different for everybody, but you're really, through some meditation and some rest, you're really going to connect into something deeper within you. And then the Hierophant is coming through to say, if you need, this is like the teacher thing to me. Like, you may need a counselor or some wise advice from something more traditional, someone in your faith community, a therapist or counselor, or taking a class on something that gives you some new wisdom or insight. But I do think there's maybe something you can learn that can help bring some clarity to you and help you to kind of move past this exhaustion and this attachment to certain things being a certain way. And then this, once again, the end of the month completely confirms that, like, you know, you're something's transforming here. You go from, it's not just an egg, there's like 4 eggs in here. Like, by the end of the month, something you've incubated, you're in a cocoon, you have certain things in eggs that you're protecting, but you're like rebirthing into a whole new phase in terms of how your foundations feel to you, your home. It could be around family, it could be around how you just take care of yourself and your soul and feed your soul. Okay, so some tough, I mean, that's been the theme. I think it's probably going to be a theme throughout, like tough work up front and by the end of the month, just like really beautiful things going on. Okay, let's look at, relationships. That's too many cards. Another transformation, you guys. Okay, so relationally, this could either be you or it could be someone in your life that's sort of like either a romantic partner or a business partner, but there is someone in your life that is very strategic and very logically sound and wise. And they can be really supportive to you this month if you need that downtime. There's someone that you can really lean on, because once again, I'm seeing this need for this break, this restful period to meditate, to process, to recenter. So even relationally, you're a little exhausted and need space. And I think, it all goes back to that coming into the month with your sense of self being exhausted. If you're exhausted, you can't give anything to anything else, and it's showing up all over the place. So it's just like, I don't feel like this is about this need to retreat from relationships. It's not about the others. It's just about like you needing to restore some energy, some clarity, some centering in you. And you have someone very understanding around you, but they are logical. So if you can just use words and explanations that I've already given here to communicate, you do need to communicate this to this person, but if you can, they will very much so support you taking the downtime you need to rest and reestablish your strength and find the centering that's sort of been lost. There could be some conflicts. I don't think this is from this person. I think this is a different relational energy coming in. There's some like you may be in like a collaboration of sorts, a relational collaboration, or this feels more professional than personal, some kind of relationship, creative relationship, work relationship, that there's some tensions here. And I'm going to wait for the confirmation card to see what you should do about this, because sometimes we can't rest our way out of certain things. This may need some action of some sort, but we'll see what the confirmation card says. But again, by the end of the month, if you're able to give yourself the rest you need, I honestly feel like you're coming into just like a completely different cycle of life, and you're needing this downtime to let go. It's like you're at the end of a phase where there's a lot of shadow and baggage, and you're just needing time to process and release and surrender and let go. And by the end of this month, you will have let something go relationally too. I think this is completely widespread your whole life. It's not around one sector. There's some massive, like you've had so many major arcana cards, so that it really does feel like February's like the month of some massive change going on, but you're just really needing to do work for the majority of the month of like really letting go of the past. And by the end of the month, yeah, there's some relational harmonies. Maybe it's about this Five of Wands. There's been maybe some relational conflict, more businessy though, I think, that you're moving past. This might just be like, again, like surrendering. Yeah, okay, let's see what the... And part of that stingray, the backbone thing might just be like finding the strength and the courage to let go, not necessarily to stand up to new big things, but to like finding your backbone to let go. Magician, yeah, I really like this energy for you. There's someone in your life that is a relationship in your life that's really supportive and beautiful. Okay. More sixes. Okay. Oh, I love that. Okay, well, we'll get there. Yeah, so Magician on top of your King of Swords relationship. This person is a manifester. They are bold. They've got you. They can be a guide, mentor, teacher for you too, if you need that. As you know, that was a big theme generally for the month. So if you need support or someone to help you see things clearly or be a guide for you, whoever this represents to you, they can step into that role. And then Six of Cups, I feel like there's something from your past, deep, deep, deep in your roots. I feel like you're going to be doing some deep ancestral work, maybe in your like family relationships, or relationships from your past relationships of all kinds that go deep into your histories and roots, that you're really uprooting, tearing out any diseases, bad elements, finding new soils, whatever you need to do. This rest and meditation period is helping you to explore these past relationships that need to be uprooted, healed, eliminated, seen in a different light, felt in a different way, processed out. And this Five of Wands, this to me is like surrender, like just let go of these competitions, whatever. There's like some relational tensions from something other than this person. And it's sort of just like, wait, this card is like, wait, don't act on it right now. It's like you don't have the right energy to do it or the right insight, and you're acting out of like old modes of you. And you need to go within and really explore who you're newly becoming and recenter in some new kind of distinct sense of self that's very your own, that you're developing before you face these tensions. Because it needs to come not from like, there's no advice. This is where you're going to need to be your own teacher, which is interesting. I hadn't thought of that before. Being teacher or student, you're teacher and student to yourself in this. Like you need to find your own distinct understanding of the situation. There's no advice or guidance you're going to get from outside of yourself of how to deal with this. You need to find it from within and be your own guide and your own student. Like really observe and analyze and process what's inside of you. In student mode, observer mode, learn from your sensations and your thoughts and feelings and process them, and then become your teacher. And then you'll know what to do, and it's going to be a very distinct answer that only you can come up with around whatever this kind of tension, relational tension is. And this is totally like I love seeing the Six of Wands paired with the Death card, because it does signify to me, I wasn't sure if this death was going to prolong into more months to come and like sitting in the death, but this to me is like you conquer death. you go through the death and it's a successful death and you come out of it reborn, like the butterfly in the last pile, like you're having a transformation of epic proportions. So, wow, I mean, really big things, you guys. Okay, last thing we're gonna look at is career, or just like public world, outer world responsibilities. So whether you're a student, whether it's around career, other responsibilities you have, such as committees. Look at what is going on in February. This card runs out. Yeah, once again, start of the month. It's so funny. I did not read any other of the piles as like a linear progression, but this is just happened in the first pile, and I think it's just how it is for this one. So you're starting out with potentially like a disappointment in a big hope you've had professionally, what you're aspiring to. It's like what you're trying to reach for is just like out of grasp right now. And it's another thing that's really like that exhaustion you have. You don't have the energy to reach going into February. And you just need to kind of like surrender to that fact. Your mind, again, is just, it needs rest. If there's any way, I know sometimes it's hard when there's pressures and stresses and responsibilities on your plate, but I just think what you're doing is draining you. And if there's some way to get some vacation time, find some downtime somehow to release some of your it may not even be about the tangible day-to-day that you have on your plate. This might be more of like really needing to release some sort of aspiration you've had. It's just like it's done nothing but drain you. It's not working. If you can do that, and that aligns with all of the other piles, it's like something's really needing to be surrendered, and it weaves through who you think you are to what you're aspiring to do. It's affecting your relationships. It's affecting your stability. One of these, surrendering all of it at this point, I think is the necessary evil to find your center again, and a new passion and a more aligned sense of who you are, and hence what you want to reach for. But there's something you really do need to let go of. I think it's done nothing but get in the way of your life, complicate it, exhaust it. If you can do that, you're gonna emerge. This is again like halfway through the month, you're really gonna start seeing this new, fresh passion coming through, and there's going to be a lot of fertility. Going back to that, I think it was Queen of Wands down in your foundations, that she was like protecting those eggs. It's very fertile energy. There's something incubating, and you have to let go of certain things from the past in order for that fertility to have the nutrients it needs. You know, we feed off of death. Life feeds off of death. You have to let some things, surrender some things, let some things die in order for this new fertility that is really magical and beautiful that's coming through in the last half of February. It needs something to feed on, and you need to let go of these things that just, you already know they're not working. And you need to let them go, and you need to rest, and that whatever's incubating is affecting your career as well, or what you're aspiring to do and be in the world, and rebirthing with a lot of fertility. And then you've got this King of Cups too, which is just like this solid, emotional calm this ability to deal with emotions, to deal with fluidity. And okay, my battery died. I'm sorry. I'm back. I was ending with this King of Cups, and I think you are ending the month as, you know, this pair, this Empress and the King of Cups, this deep fertility coming through, new projects that are feeling alive and very connected to, and that are taking form and taking shape. And you have this emotional calm knowing, this deep inner knowing that's very fulfilled. And even though this may be, you know, a place where you're more a student, beginner at something, there's a calm around you, and you have other life experience that probably translates, that still gives you a certain essence and air of authority within whatever this new transformation comes about as. Okay, let's look at confirmation cards. Oh my gosh. Death again. Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay, so we've got death. Just like I said with the star, there's something you're reaching for that you just don't have the energy for, and it's not the right dream. And this is saying, yeah, it's time. It's just a confirmation. It is time to kind of let this go. Same, almost exact same thing. It's draining you, not only of your mental energy, but of your spark of life. You should know what this is. And you should already know that it's time to let it go. So I shouldn't be saying anything that you don't already know. And then Two of Swords reversed is like you've been of two minds. And that's ending with this new focus, this new aspiration that you're kind of transforming into. I think what's been getting in the way, whether it stemmed from self or, I mean, it's affected all areas of your life, but I think that you've had an idea of who you are and what you wanted to do, and then an inner knowing of something about you, and they've been in conflict. And you've been playing with this tension that's just like not sustainable. And by letting all of this go and finding that new clear spark that's distinct to you, that's your own thing, that's very fertile, and you have a clear direction, you're letting go of this two-mindedness, this tension of, this inner tension of which thing to be or do or say, or that's leaving, and it's leaving room for you to just relax into life and let it take form and let it thrive around you. And then this ending with the King of Cups and Ace of Swords, this emotional calm and emotional command that you're ending the month with also gives you a deep mental clarity. So your emotional body and your mental body are really strong and aligned and commanding, and really working for you with what you are newly, by the end of the month, desiring to reach for. You know, I think it's going to be more in the form of inspiration and little signs through certain fertile things you're feeling that this is right. I don't think it's like all of a sudden you've won the lottery at the end of the month or stepped into some brand new huge success at the end of the month, but it's a success in that like you're finally aligning with what you want and it feels right, and you're getting little signs of that, and you are feeling within yourself that confidence and that alignment and that knowing and that centering and direction. And that's what I'm seeing here is you're going to end the month in terms of aspiration and outer world responsibilities with like a clear knowing and direction of what you want to do. All right, that is where I'm going to leave you guys. Wow. Transformations galore here. I mean, really, really powerful. I do think the first half of February is going to be pretty tough, but the second half is going to be awesome, amazing. So good for you guys and good luck with that journey. See you in next reading. Hello, Aries. Okay, we are going to pick a card for you and then roll a dice to see which area of life this card is sort of touching into. One quick thing about your sign currently is you are sort of in the astrological charts currently finding sort of a new spark, a new vision for your future, but at the same time feeling a little bit bitter and exhausted by some old constructs you've been in, and like working to let those go and kind of break free of something. So keep that in mind with all that we see with the card and dice. So agape is sort of like finding a certain awe and wonder in the cosmic and divine quality of the world around you, how it's so much bigger than you. So like being able to take yourself a little bit out of self-centering, which Aries are very good at doing, which is both a gift and a challenge for you guys. But I think right now, because of this energy you're in where you're sort of like breaking free of something and envisioning something new, you are very much so tapped into just the wonder of things that are so much bigger than you. And so like really commit to that devotion to centering things more divine and magical in your world rather than centering yourself. So you can kind of hold not quite a childlike lens, but just like a really open-minded, experimental, amazed lens as you walk through things right now. And then let's see where this is affecting you. So your sense of value, your voice, this could be connected to even your income, how you're finding pleasure in life right now. This is all very connected to that. So really seeing, centering things that are bigger than you and the awe and wonder of it about the physical world, using your senses to feel wonder, using your voice to channel something from somewhere else other than from you. So that's sort of what I'm seeing for you guys in February. Okay, Taurus. This is your card, Taurus. We're going to choose a card for you and roll a dice to see which area of life this card is affecting. One little thing just in your astrological charts, you guys are probably very exhausted these days. Your sign is right behind the North Node, where there's shadowy stuff happening. So you're really meant to sort of surrender to some bigger plan and like really shed an old mode of life, any shadows, any baggage, but also just finding like maybe some forgiveness and just like letting go of certain things. But I think, you know, life is very much so changing around you, and it can feel, yeah, a little bit, you know, moments of inspiration and moments of exhaustion, and you're just meant to kind of surrender into whatever's going, let it go, and whatever inspirations you're holding, just let that help you tap into something bigger and more beautiful in your life. Okay, so your card is the Heart. I love that. The way forward this month is by really listening to your heart. So really get out of your mind this month. Don't try to analyze things and figure things out. Just let go and let your heart lead your way. If there's things in your heart that need healing, allow a little bit of extra space for yourself to let your emotions kind of just process through you and not try to block them. Just allow them to come and be there and do what they need to do, and they'll be on their way. So let's see which area of life this is touching for you guys. So your 6th house, so this could have to do with your sense of like, what is your purpose in life? Your rhythms, your daily rituals and rhythms and habits, your physical wellness, and your need to feel needed also could be touched by this. So really open your heart to finding things that will support your wellness right now, and finding a balance in your rhythm in your daily life between some time for yourself and all your other things that you're doing, and find some anchoring rituals to just kind of create some sort of foundation for yourself, since you're in this kind of like really nebulous liminal space at the moment. Okay, Gemini, we're going to choose a card for you and then roll a dice to see which area of life this is affecting. A general thing for you guys to know is last year we've sort of moved out of eclipses in your sign, but we had them last year, and you're really starting like a whole new journey in life right now, having just had the North Node go through your sign. And so it's all about really connecting into passions and impulses and not being so worried about failure. At this moment in time, you're sort of like a baby that's learning to walk, and they're going to fall a lot before they get on their feet. But there's an impulse, this want, this drive, and that's all you need to focus on, is like keeping this impulse and passion and finding your sense of centering alive right now, and just, you know, be okay with like not everything totally working out how you imagine. Just have like a little bit of fun and do things for you. Okay, so your card, oh, I love this, Eros. This is like the erotic to me, whereas like to me it's the opposite of pornographic, where there's sort of sensuality minus emotion. But when you have sensuality plus emotion, it's like where your passions can really you know, it doesn't have to be a sexual thing. This is like very you are in love with life because you're allowing your emotions and your desires to meet and sort of drive you into things and really deeply feel and explore them. This is exactly, I mean, this really aligns with what I had said leading up to the card. Okay, so let's see what area of life is kind of potent this month as well. So the 5th house, creativity, this is great. So find your light, see how you can sort of shine and create and lead a little bit and be a little bit of an attention hog. That's all good this month. And have some fun, recreate, luxuriate, be a bit indulgent. Okay, Cancer, we're gonna draw a card for you and roll a dice. Something to know before we pull the cards. right now in life, in the astrological sense. You're in a mode of, you're kind of newly on a fresh path, and you're starting right now to give a lot of form and function to it and find your voice within it and understand what you value about this sort of new path you're on. Maybe, you know, drawing a little bit of new opportunities in income because of this recognition of what you're valuing about yourself and about this new path. Okay, let's see your card, the Self. So beautiful. So this is a month to really focus on centering in yourself. It's okay to be a little bit selfish, to find a little bit of space for your own needs right now. So some meditation, some walks in nature, do things that you need for you and be a little bit selfish right now. Okay, so we're going to roll the dice and see which area of life this might pertain to. 7th house, so relationships. You may need to be a little bit more selfish in your relationships. You need to ask for what you need. You need to get clear about what you want from others, what you're asking, what kind of exchanges you're in, what feels fair and equitable to you, and really find your voice to communicate with the close one-on-one relationships in your life. It doesn't have to be spouses, it can be business partners, any close one-on-one relationship. You really need to assert and communicate what you need right now for yourself in this relationship. Okay. Okay, Leo, we are going to draw a card for you and then roll a dice to see which area of life this card is really plugging into. And before I draw the card, just a little bit about what's going on astrologically in your life. You are in a mode of really trying to figure out probably something about your identity and your belonging and your community right now. So you're maybe taking on more things or committing to more things than you can practically do, and that's okay. I think right now you need to be a little bit shallow with life and explore and pollinate and just see how things are weaving for you, and not be like super committal to anything you're doing. You're really just trying to figure out how you plug in to life right now, and where your tribes are, and what kind of community you want to be a part of and who you are within that. So be okay with saying yes to a lot of things and not following through with everything and just having a little bit of lighthearted fun. Don't take things too seriously right now. Don't try to figure everything out. Okay, so vision, you may have a specific goal that you're really trying to focus on and manifest, and you know, I feel like this is something, you know, very big in your life, and you're reaching really high right now. You're aspiring to something big, and so this is asking you to sort of push your boundaries and push yourself into a little bit of discomfort in order to broaden your perspectives and in order to open doors to try and get to this mountain peak that this vision holds, this big place, this big aim. So push your boundaries, push your perspectives, kick some new doors open. Okay, let's see what area of this life that might pertain to 12th house. So art, spirituality, mysticism, holding complexity and compassion. So you may really have this desire to kind of like surrender into some sort of more poetic, fluid aspect of life, and plug into your dreams a little bit more. And so this is saying, like spend a little extra time sleeping and dreaming in order to kind of give space. This is a very spacious house, to give space for understanding what this vision is and how to approach it. And yeah, just allow a little bit of daydreaming to really click into what this vision is and how to move forward with it. All right. Okay, Virgo, we are going to pick a card for you for February and then roll a dice to see which area of life it pertains to. But before we pick the card, just a little bit astrologically about where you are in life. You're down in the roots of things. So you've kind of been stripped bare of all superficialities in life and are really being asked to deepen into your inner gaze to know what your soul wants and to really commit to things that make you happy internally, things that make you feel stable, things that nourish you, and to be okay with the shedding that's happened of sort of surface things in your life. More aligned things will start to bubble in the next 6 months to 12 months for you. But right now it's really about taking care of yourself, having some privacy, really mining into the depths of who you are in your soul. Okay, so Alethea, this is a beautiful card for what I just said. It's all about truth. So you may, in this mining of who you are and really using intuition and insight to dig into your depths, I think you're going to find some really potent, beautiful truths about what you actually want and what actually nourishes you in life this month. Okay, let's see what area of this life it might pertain to. The 3rd house. So you may be calling in a truth about either gaining a truth about your sense of identity and community and how you plug in and like soul tribe type of element, or actually finding these things. But you're going to find a truth about really understanding how you belong and where you belong in life. So that's really beautiful. Okay, Libra, we're going to pick a card for you guys as well as roll a dice to see which area of life this is going to pertain to. And before I pick the card, just a little bit about your sign and what's going on astrologically for you guys. You guys are in the spotlight right now, this year and this month. So it's a time to really find your light, to claim the spotlight, to be seen, to allow yourself to be seen, and to find courage to do things that are kind of bold and daring and that garner attention, and finding the way you like to get attention. Okay, so let's pick a card. The flame. So there is a new spark within you, inside of you, that's feeling really alive and beautiful right now. So it's a time to really tend to this, like feed that spark, whatever that spark is to you, really feed it this month to keep it alive. So to me, this is saying you may not be totally in the spotlight this month, but you're, this year has that energy around you, but this month is about more privately tending to whatever this flame is in you that really wants to shine and be seen. Just tend to it, nourish it, and kind of take care of yourself, and yeah, just feed your this creative spark you are feeling. And this is 5th house is this very symbolic of what I've said about your year, about like being in the spotlight, and being like really feeling creative and expressive at the moment. So yeah, do some things for you to feed this, especially privately, like really play with creativity, with what your heart and the spark is kind of trying to lead you to do and foster and be courageous around. Okay. All right, Scorpio, we are going to pick a card for you and then roll this astro dice to see which area of life the card is pertaining to. But before I go there, just a little bit astrologically about where you guys are currently, kind of some themes around you as you're really trying to find your rhythm right now. So daily habits, production schedules, wellness, what is it you do in your day-to-day rhythms that give you some anchoring but also make you very productive and fruitful in your life. So that's something that you guys are sort of focusing on this year and this month. Okay, so let's see what the card says. The Maiden. Ooh. So you may feel a little bit seduced by the darker side this month, and there's something maybe a little bit naive in your approach or in what you're kind of meddling in right now. And this is sort of saying like, yeah, I mean, lean into that darker side a little rock and roll, a little bit of the bad boy or bad girl. There's something that you're needing to understand about your purpose that is a little bit inexperienced right now. And there's something about touching into your shadow and the darker element of life that, you know, you might get a little burned, but it illuminates something deeper and richer about yourself and gives you a certain experience that sometimes you need that burn to that darker experience to kind of understand what you're made of. Okay, let's see which area of this life it might pertain to. Career. So what are you aspiring to? Where is your authority? There's something here that is that you're newly sort of experimenting with and exploring and feeling a bit dangerous with. So I think that's okay this month. Be a little bit dangerous, but know that there could be consequences, but that will bring it like a beautiful lesson at the same time. Okay, Sagittarius. We're going to pick a card for you and then roll this dice to see which area of life this pertains to. But before picking the card, just a little bit about where you guys are in the astrological sense. You have just had the South Node moving through your sign, and that has put you into a place where some karmic exchanges are happening, and you're really starting to understand how people want to partner with you and exchange with you, and getting a little bit more outer world attention. At the same time, this is going to require that you be a little bit more cooperative and compromising and letting go of some control in your life in order to engage with the world a little bit more powerfully, which is exciting. Okay, so your card is the Hunter, which is really cool because this is sort of your archetype to the Centaur and the Archer. So there's something you do, like you have a very strong aim and goal and focus right now that you're like a target you're trying to hit. And you're really getting strategic this month. You need to get strategic about it, really be observant and pick up the clues and make plans and really make sure that this target you're aiming at has your full attention, and you've given time to strategizing of like how to hit the mark. And this thing that you're aiming towards, it is also like you're seeking something mysterious about yourself through this obsession, this aim you have, and going through being this like hunter archetype will reveal some secrets about who you are and why you're fixated on this particular aim. Okay, let's see what area of life this is pertaining to right now. So your sixth house, so work, your purpose, productivity, creating sort of fruitfulness and abundance in your life and a certain wellness. So it's a month to really cultivate rhythms and rituals that anchor you and that organize your days and make them more efficient, and finding a balance within that for self versus work versus others, like all the different things, just like really finding that rhythm that that creates a fruitful, productive life. And there's something about that which will help you to hit your mark. Okay. All right, Capricorn, we're going to pick a card for you guys, and then we will roll a dice to see which area of life this card is pertaining to. And before I do that, just a little bit about where you guys are astrologically right now, what's going on for you. You are in the process of uprooting certain things. There's some power dynamics around you where you're really discovering, it's almost like metaphorically, like you're a plumber right now and you're going down into your pipes underground to see where there might be leaks or clogs. In terms of how you are sharing your resources and having resources shared with you, like where do you need to be more precise and strategic around this to eliminate leaks and clogs around this flow of resource sharing that needs to be channeled appropriately to empower you and empower those around you. All right, so your card is the Sword. So there could be some tough decisions you need to make in February that is like there's some paths or some doors presented to you, and you have to make a really clear, definite decision about which way to go. But I think you whether you get clarity and then choose, or just have to make a choice but then clarity comes, this tough decision will lead you on a path and kind of help you clarify, focus, and sort of move forward with some tensions, eliminate some tensions you've been feeling, and just sort of like pick a path and go type of energy. So this could be relating to your power. I mean, this is again what I was saying before we picked the card. This all has to do with your sense of feeling your empowerment in the world. So what is the best decision if you have some tensions in you? Which decision is going to empower you the most? Yeah, that could be a question to ask and to feel into. All right. Okay, Aquarius, birthday season for you guys for at least a good chunk of February. We're going to pick a card for you and then roll a dice to see which area of life this card is pertaining to. A little bit about where you guys are astrologically right now. In the past year, you've probably done a lot of work to understand and uproot certain things that have either traumas or certain things that have blocked or been leaked in your empowerment. And you've sort of repaired these things and gotten your life force really flowing again and feeling your power. So now you're in an an expansive phase where you have maybe like a really big focus and target and aim, and you're really pushing your boundaries and expanding into life in a beautiful, adventurous, seeking type way. All right, so your card is the Vessel. So this month is a time to really take care of your body, as well as to recognize any seeds you are planting at the moment. This makes sense because you'll have the new moon in your sign, I think on the very first of this month, which is the seed planting phase of the moon. So in your sign, you're really needing to look at the pressures and responsibilities on your shoulders and use that as a gauge for what you want to manifest in your next yearly round. Are the pressures too great right now? Can you take on a little bit more? That can help you gauge what kind of intentions and seeds you want to plant, whether they're pushing you or easing up on you a little bit. And just beyond that, yeah, just like really take care of yourself. I think you're going to be under a little bit of stress this season. So take care of your body, find some moments to pause and observe and just take life in and nourish yourself. Let's see if there's a particular area of life that's important here. So third, your sense of connection and community and belonging. Information, you may be gathering some information that pertains to new intentions and the responsibilities you're shouldering right now, finding some belonging and community, being a little bit busy. So definitely, because this does indicate maybe some busyness, definitely block out some time in your calendar where you're going to have time to just sort of decompress and pause as well. Okay. All right, Pisces, we are going to draw a card for you, and near the end of the month, it will be your season, so big month. So we'll draw a card for you and then roll this astro dice to see which area of life it pertains to, but a little bit about where you guys are astrologically right now. In the past year, the south, what I would call the south bend of the lunar orbit has been going through your sign and has just kind of moved out, but that means it's really shifted the majority of you, unless you're on the cusp of Aries, into a phase of life where you're shouldering a lot of responsibility and you're under a lot of pressure, but it's really toughening you up to excel and have mastery and claim your authority in life. So these responsibilities and pressures you're feeling are going to come with gifts as well. Okay, so your card is the Mountain. This is exactly, the Mountain energy is exactly what I was talking about. It's sort of like stature, solidity, authority. So there's something, yeah, you're really needing to envision yourself as a mountain that is strong, that is solid, that is stable, and to trust that you have the authority you need to shoulder the responsibilities that are on you at the moment. Yeah. Let's look at which area of life this month it kind of might pertain to. Your 11th house. So you're maybe feeling a little bit rebellious and tired of old ways, looking for, experimenting. So trust that you have the stability and the authority to experiment a little bit, breaking some rules, breaking the mold in how you've been doing things is okay because you are so solid. You're not going to break the mountain by doing this, your position. But I think that you need to shake things up a little bit in order to find some sort of heart within the mountain right now. Like it's maybe feeling a little bit brittle and you're needing to mine for the gems that are within that mountainous, pressure-filled structure that you are right now. And yeah, and it's going to require like just being a little bit offbeat, avant-garde, experimental, shaking, like don't be scared to shake things up a little bit. You're too solid right now to be knocked off of the pedestal that you are on. So yeah, ruffle a few feathers, I'm saying. All right, there we go. And that is the end of the reading for the astrological signs. Leave a comment below if you have questions about those, or put your little astrological sign in there to signify you've seen yours. And this is where I'll leave you guys.